Okay, good afternoon, everyone, from a very cold Vanderbijl Park. I've been trying to stay in the blankets as much as possible, so now I guess most of you across the country either had seen the and felt the same cold, or I've heard those in the Cape, it seems to have passed now. But yeah, so it's lovely to be able to spend time again with you, and myself and Charmaine are looking forward to the next half an hour with you. So yeah, and you would have seen if you've attended our previous session, we are really a big group of students that will matriculate this group. So that's wonderful to see. And from Kairos' side, our goal is really there to support you guys as seniors and families, and then specifically pertaining to the shipment of the graduation documents. So today's really our goal is to make this process clearer for you guys, as cost effective as possible, as time effective as possible, so that yeah, we can let you know what it is so that it can be less stress on you. So in the end, we want to see you celebrate with your child the well-earned diploma and transcript in a timely manner. So I am, without further ado, going to hand over to Charmaine, who's the senior mom at Kairos. So Charmaine, thank you. And Charmaine will take you through the content of this document. This document will be available afterwards. We will put it on the class of 2025 group. And yeah, in the session, there will be an Q&A later on. So just afford Charmaine a couple of minutes to work through the document, and any questions that you have, you can then ask them through the chatbot. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Annarin. It's also cold
Morning.
this end. I hope all of you are keeping warm. I'm going to just share the document that Annarin was mentioning. There it is. Basically, this is our shipment philosophy, roles and responsibility and timelines. It's to make it easier for you so that you can understand from our side what is required and how we operate. This document outlines the philosophy, role and responsibilities, and the timeline involved in the shipment of our students' official graduation documents, all the way from HomeLife Academy, that's in the USA, to our students across South Africa. Our goal is to make this process clear, cost-effective, and stress-free, while ensuring that each student receives their well-earned diploma and transcript in a timely manner. We do understand that it's quite a stressful time for graduation, and we'd like to make it as streamlined as easy as possible. Our document shipment philosophy, we do celebrate it. I must admit, seeing every time that I see an email come through from HomeLife Academy saying congratulations with a PDF copy, it's a celebration my end as well. And I stress with all of you waiting for it to arrive here so that I can post it off to you. To graduate, certain requirements must be met. All of HLA's minimum requirements must be met. That will be your 4 credits English, 3 credits science, and so forth. Also, your percentages, if you do request percentages, please make sure that that is all in, because if you request percentages and the percentages are not in on the case, HLA will send it back. And then I will need to request that you send, please, the percentages. Graduation is not automatic. To ensure your child is officially graduated, you must submit a graduation request. Now, this is quite important, and you will see in the following soon to follow tables, that you need to do that request as soon as possible. Reason for this is I do check up, have you put in the right address? You are sure that you requested a hardcover and so forth. We need to have it in. So please do it very early. We aim to serve families in a time and cost-effective way. To reduce cost, we consolidate document shipments from HLA to grouping students, a minimum of 6 per group, based on their graduation dates. Your graduation date you request might fall within the group and might fall without the group. We'll let you know if this is a possible. US to ZA, how it works. Your child's diploma and transcript are first sent from HLA's US office to our Kairos office in South Africa. From there, we distribute them to families via courier guy. Shipment roles and responsibilities and timelines. Please take note of your role, as well as responsibilities and timelines of Kairos and HLA in the process of shipping your child's graduation documents. Understanding each step helps ensure smooth and timely delivery of these important records. Responsibility as parents. You need to complete the graduation request form early in grade 12. Please submit the Kairos graduation as early as possible in your child's grade 12 year. This is the first and most important step in ensuring your child is eligible to graduate. So please do this very early. If you notice a little later on that the requested graduation date is not going to suit you, or you want to go a little earlier or a little later, you are always welcome to email us or send us a WhatsApp message to say, listen, I want to change the graduation date, or you can go back into the form and change the graduation date from there. Farm families, take note. If you live on a farm or remote area, please provide an in-town delivery address when completing graduation request form to avoid delivery issues. Some areas, courier guys do not deliver to your farm areas. You can have it delivered to a courier guy outlet and go pick up from there. Keep your graduation dates and delivery address updated. This is vitally important because it's sent from door to door. If you're not there and you've moved, it will end up at the wrong door. Pay the diploma and transcript postage and folder and apostle fees. For 2025, 720 Rand per student post fee will be invoiced soon to cover international shipping. If you have chosen to receive the official HLA diploma folder, which is $25 US, and or apostle, which is $25 US, these fees will be added and applied. These fees support to secure your group shipping for our Kairos office and fund delivery locally to your address via courier guy. Note that if you've requested HLA to apostle your documents, expect a 7 to 8 week delay due to the length of the process. The HLA diploma folder is a beautiful hardcover that actually protects your diploma and transcript. I do highly recommend it because we do try to keep the documents as secure as possible. We put it with cardboard and in a bubble wrap envelope, but with courier guys, we cannot guarantee it's going to end up at your door all nice, neat and pristine and straight. So we do highly recommend the folder. It is a beautiful keepsake for your diploma as well. Okay, direct shipping from HLA is available. Would you prefer to have your documents sent straight from the HLA of the US? You're welcome to opt out of the group shipment process. Please note that the direct international shipping costs approximately $170 per student package. You are welcome to request it if you want it rather delivered straight to you, but the shipping cost will be on your account. If you want to speed things up, if you want to expedite the processing of your documents, you can ask for that. There is a $25 US rush free now. for this year, and reduces turnaround around 5+ business days. But note that if you ask for a rush fee and you have your document rushed and the PDF sent to you, the postage might then fall out of the group postage, and you might be then responsible for the full shipping cost to ship it to you. Follow up on non-conformances. When processing your graduation request, HLA sometimes identifies issues like missing or incomplete Apple Core records, outstanding credits, grades, or percentages, unmet graduation credit requirements. When this happens, Kairos will contact you directly via email or WhatsApp to guide you through what needs to be fixed. We do try to stay on track with the documents, and HLA is signed and will notify you as soon as they have an issue. Provisional PDF copies available. Once your child's graduation request has been processed, you will receive a PDF copy of the diploma and transcript directly from HLA via email. Please note that this is not the official legal documentation, but it can be extremely helpful to move forward with any time-sensitive applications or waiting for the originals to arrive, such as your SAQA or USAF applications, or for work or tertiary applications. Please be on the lookout for this email after approximately 10 business days of graduation date if there were no non-conformities. Any conformances, will actually delay the process, and it might take longer than the 10 days. From Kairos' side, we invoice and manage your graduation postage fees. Kairos will issue an invoice to all families covering the national group shipment costs and, where applicable, the official HLA diploma folder fee. This fee helps us coordinate and streamline efficient, reliable, and cost-effective delivery process with the HLA officers. Request graduation on your child's behalf. Once you have requested for us for graduation, closer to that graduation date, there will be an email coming out just to double check, is your address correct? Have you got the right ID in for your child, and so forth. And on that graduation date that you've selected, we will put the request through to HLA. Follow up on non-conformances. Sometimes HLA flags issues, like we've mentioned. And when this happens, we will contact you. We'll reach out to you and help to see if we can resolve the non-conformances. Cover, track, and manage the bulk shipment. We take care of full payment and tracking of the international shipment from HLA in the US to our Kairos office in South Africa. Grouping students together makes this process significantly more affordable for our families. If you consider that it's approximately $170 ship one document, if you want to choose the individual route. Distribute to your door. Once the shipment arrives at our Kairos offices, typically within a week or two after dispatch, we promptly courier your child's graduation documents to South Africa in town delivery address you provided via courier guide. This process, usually once it's processed, the whole group has been processed, usually takes real quick. I've already received a wonderful package from DHL yesterday with the group, and yeah, and we'll be sending it out in this week. But yeah, now I'm lost my place. There you go. HLA, HomeLife Academy. They process graduation requests, which is approximately 10 business days. So from the moment that we've put the request through to HLA, it takes approximately 10 business days. This will be on the date that you've requested graduation. Provisional PDF copies available. After successfully graduation process, HLA will generate and email the PDF versions of all the transcript and diploma to the family's email on record. Please double check that you have sent us the right email on that graduation request form that you fill in. You will be filling in your email. Make sure it is the correct email, because that's the email that will be giving HLA to send your PDF to. These are to be delivered before or alongside the preparations of the physical document for shipment. They prepare and process the shipment plus minus 10 business days. Once graduation is approved, HLA prepares your child's official diploma and transcript package for shipment. If your family is part of a Kairos group order, this parcel is sent to South Africa, the other graduates' documents. The Russia option, which is 25 US dollars, trust back the processing timeline by 5+ days where selected. Shipped to South Africa plus minus 1 to 2 weeks. After the shipment is dispatched, it typically takes about a week to arrive at our Kairos office in South Africa. From there, Kairos handles the final delivery to your door. So basically, your request to graduate needs to be done very early. And on the date that you requested for graduation, we will take that, process it with HLA. And from there, the process takes, have you got everything in? Is your apple up to date? And so on. Some delays will delay the group. So we please ask that do make sure that everything is up to date, that if you wanted percentages, your percentages are in, you've met HLA requirements. You can request a transcript review from us to double check this. We are more than happy to do that. But yeah, please, because any delays means the rest of the group gets delayed as well. And that's basically it. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Charmaine, and thank you for that information that you shared. Just from my own side, and you're welcome to ask any questions that you may have and put those in the chat. But just to highlight a couple of things that I thought of when Charmaine went through the process. First of all, please fill in that graduation request form. As Charmaine mentioned, we won't graduate you automatically. Number of families did send their details through last week after our prompt, but there's still 50% of our families that have not finalized that. So please, we can't help you if you don't provide that information. When you have completed that form, you will receive automatic reply of automatic email, which include the information that you have submitted to us via that form. So if you need to make any changes to the form, you can just reflect back on that document and access the form again and make further changes to if you want to update your graduation date or any of the other information. One thing that I would like to ask you, if any of you are considering, and can you see me, Charmaine? I'm just unsure if I'm visible.
I think you pinned me.
Okay, let me just, I'm just going to add my pin here. Sorry, guys. So, Charmaine spoke about the folder. So this is an example of the folder that you will receive with the document. If you choose so, we the cost is $25 as charged by HomeLife Academy. It's a beautiful document. There's one of our students is diploma, which is not in focus, I see, but you get an idea. With that, you will get your also your transcript that you will receive from HomeLife Academy. These documents are originals. They are originally signed with the original stamp. So they do the PDF that you will receive via email after HLA has processed it. That document is just for you to kickstart some of your processes, as Charmaine has mentioned. But this one is the legal one. This is the legal documentation that you need. Okay, so coming back to the folder, some of you might now decide maybe the folder is not a bad idea. You can go back to your form and just update it. If possible, don't email me and Charmaine to do it on your behalf because we have got 170 students, so that in itself will be taking our focus away from other not the more important, but other queries. Yeah, so if you can just kindly go back if need be. Then in terms of the percentage that Charmaine has focused on, that is one of the most common non-conformances that we see and then causing a delay for families. So if you have decided you want to display percentages on your transcript, we can't pull those out of the air. So if they are on Apple Core, then they can be displayed. If you have not loaded any percentages, you can't ask for percentages, okay? And if you ask for percentages, each and every line in your transcript for all your credits needs to have a percentage. Yes, those include the PE and the health type of credits as well. Okay. Then maybe just something else to highlight. HomeLife Academy are still busy with our grade 12 transcript reviews. As we mentioned, it's a bulk, a large group that they have to evaluate. So plenty of you have received it already. A number of you are still waiting. So rest assured that it is being addressed and handled by them. If you need help earlier, we do have the Kairos transcript review, so the focus is different. So what we typically do, we take note of the HomeLife Academy transcript reviews of previous years of the grade 11 year. But over and above, we then review your transcript in line with the South African environment and what we have experienced our local work and tertiary environment also understand. So that includes taking a look at titles, taking a look at consistency in terms of applying credits, etc., etc. And there was one thing else that I wanted to highlight, which I can't remember now. So maybe it will jump back at me later, but I just wanted to highlight that. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. So if you run into a non-conformance, we will not delay the rest of the group. Okay, so you will just have to stand over to the next group unless HomeLife Academy and you can resolve it quickly. Okay, so we won't um, influence the rest of the group negatively. So yeah, so rest assured of that, but also make sure that you don't have any non-conformances in order to proceed. So non-conformances, again, what are the biggest one? The percentage one that you ask, and sometimes not having the required credits needed for graduation, or yeah, those are the main reasons, I think, Charmaine, that has been causing feedback and delays for certain students.
Yeah, those are the two main ones. And then there are sometimes naming of courses, and we've also had some that repeat the same resources, but those are very few and far between.
Yes. Okay, so Charmaine, I'm going to handle Desiree's email message, and then you can do Lisa's. So Desiree asks, so if a mum needs to change the expected graduation date, yes, please. So you can find that email ideally. If you really can't find it, just try and sort it. If you really can't find it, then let us know, and we can update it for you on your behalf on the form.
Gonna jump to Elisa's question first. Can I still change a description on Apple Core as it was already reviewed? That depends on reviewed. If it was reviewed by us or HLA and it's unlocked, you can still change it. But if you've asked for an interim transcript review, you won't be able to change grade 9s to grade 11. And if they've already processed the graduation, you won't be able to change it. And then Lisa's is my child's GPA is 3.36 and we need 3.5. Is there anything we can still do to raise it? Um, this is a difficult question because there are ways you can go back. We do believe in mastering subjects. So you can go back over the foundations, see where the gaps are, and then try and fill in the gaps and carry on from there. And slowly but surely be able to raise the GPA. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Mm.
Um,
If I
yeah,
might come
if you've already
in,
asked for it in, yes,
yeah.
please,
So,
Irene.
sorry, Charmaine. Yeah, if I can come in here, I'm just going to carry on where Charmaine left off. So, if you've asked for the
Please.
interim one, then you can't go and change any of your prior subjects.
No.
Those are now fixed and locked on Apple Core. So you're really going to have to look ahead. So raising the GPA will involve doing extremely well in this year's subjects. Try and obtain A's or B pluses in every subject. Because a B plus on our grading scale is a 3.5. So that is the level that you need to be at. It might involve doing extra subjects. But then at the same time, Lisa, what I want to mention, there are alternative routes, remember, than to necessarily go through USAF. So there is the option of doing NQF5s in South Africa, and then using that as part of the almost a bridge in order to access universities. And then something that I'm passionate about is also the amount of international universities that's available to our families that we are not exploring and using as much as we should. So, but yes, if your child wants to study locally and he needs to go through USAF in order to do that, to gain access to his course of choice, then you can adopt some of the strategies that we've mentioned or reach out to our office and see how we can further assist.
There are some really good international ones. I actually saw some yesterday.
Yeah.
Expected or planned graduation dates is something different from final diploma request. Seems in the talk on the support groups, there's some confusion about these two sometimes. We talk about graduation dates. Your graduation date is the date you have finished, finalized everything, and want that date to start the processing for graduation. So you're talking about the graduation date. Final diploma request, your final diploma request, well, that's the request for when you want the graduation process to start. So that can be very early, hopefully very early. The sooner you get that in, the better.
Mm. Okay.
Um,
I'm going to answer Alex's message with sharing a screenshot here, Alex. So when I visited SAQA a couple of years back, they introduced me to this website. So it's a Council for Higher Education Accreditation. So this one is specifically that you can use for the purposes of checking the validity of a US-based university. So in this, you can, for instance, I'm just going to share here with university that my two eldest children have been using, and I think I've just made the spelling error. University, there we are. Let's try again. That's my cold fingers at work here. When you type in and are investigating a certain university, you will see that if you can't find it yet, that's already a serious concern. But then it will also state here what are the accreditations associated with this. If you want to take it a step further, you can reach out to SAQA. They've got a free service where you can actually ask them about a certain university, which I've done specifically for this university as well before we started with our children, just to make sure that if they want to continue with further studies or work in South Africa, then SAQA will evaluate and will recognize it, and which is again required in the South African work and tertiary environment for further studies and work, is just to translate your international qualification. So that's basically the easiest. There's some further technicalities involved, but that's the process that I have been following when I counseled families on that.
Michelle Werther asked, can we add subjects to get the GPA up for grade 12? My daughter got a B for a few things instead of D or only A's. We need it for USAF for... You can add subjects. It wouldn't be advisable late in the game to start adding extra subjects. It would be more advisable to work on the ones she has to bring up the grade. Because the more you add, the more you overload your students. I don't know, Noreen, if you have a different view on this.
Yeah, my apologies. I were looking for an answer to a next question, so I did not I did not listen. So yeah, Michelle, if you've got further questions, you can just post a follow-up question, please.
Um, what is general graduation dates? Is that the one you were busy looking for, Noreen?
Yeah, so I would just I went now into our list. So historically, the students that's on the Alpha calendar, we will see, because the first date is really the 15th of October. So we see plenty of students then coming in. So I'm just looking at the form for our 2025 graduates. There's plenty of students that will graduate, at least 10 or more on the 15th. Then we've got a couple for the remainder of October, maybe another 10, and then let's say the bulk will then be in November and December. So, yeah, Michelle, hopefully that gives you an answer, but I also would strongly advise that you look at what's suitable for you and what's doable for you. So remember, we've got the flexibility, we've got families that will only matriculate and graduate next year. And that's fine as well. So just a reminder for all, if you do not have other commitments in terms of providing feedback to universities that you've applied to for next year, you still have until 15 March of 2026. That's the latest date that you may graduate next year as part of the Alpha calendar. And similarly, for those on the 2024-25, I think it's 15 September, if I remember correctly, Charmaine. That's the
Yeah,
latest date for those families.
yeah, I'm just double checking, but
Yeah,
yeah, is 15th of September is the latest for the US calendar.
yeah, okay. There's a question from Tabo to you, Charmaine.
Ashman, once we receive the final transcript in October, what do we do regarding submissions? SAQA, then USAF, or vice versa, on what is the turnaround time? My suggestion, as soon as you receive the PDF, immediately do the SAQA. SAQA takes the longest. I'm currently the one request we sent in two requests for my daughter. The one request was within 2.5 months, which is under their 3-month time. The other one is now going for 4 months.
Mhm.
So I would suggest do SAQA first and foremost. Do SAQA first and then start on getting documents ready for USAF.
Yeah. And if I may add to that, Tabu, it depends on what you want to and want for what you need that. So if you are going to study at one of the public universities and you need the USAF, that's what you need. That's what you need to do. The SAQA one is, in a sense, then in that circumstance, nice to have, or something that you will use in the longer term, and not immediately need. So it depends on the students. We strongly recommend that everyone apply for SAQA because it's like this document that I've shown you earlier. That's translating this document to its South African equivalent, which might be, probably be needed by future employers, even if you have got a degree later on. I remember I was speaking to Otto the other day with Sasol, and a large number of employees that they've got there. And even there, they will require your high school diploma detail, even if you've got a master's degree and even a PhD later on. So the SAQA step is just translating it to the South African environment. If you're not going to work in South Africa, if you're not going to study further in South Africa, then you can decide, if it's worth your while for SAQA application. USAF, again, you just do that if you want to or need that exemption for local university application. And usually you need that for bachelor studies in the South African context.
And I think that answers the next question Tabo had, which is what role do both play? I
Yeah.
think
Um,
that answers it.
Salome, if I remember correctly, it's 15 September of this year is the latest date. But if I'm wrong, we will put it on the class of 2025. If you don't hear anything from us, then that's the date. But that detail is available in your e-planner and the supporting documents and website. So, but yeah, I don't have it in front of me. One other thing that we need to be wrapping up, but one other thing that I just want to highlight, which came on under my attention yesterday, is that USAF have now, and just going to share their website, have now published the process to be offered by or to be applied by us in South Africa. So there's nothing really new in there. They do use a lot of words, and I will follow up with Yusuf and may have response within the next couple of days or weeks or months, depending on their response time, to try and understand what that legal talk is all about. But the thing is, and so this is nothing new. So it's again, they want a good GPA, and then they use an example, for instance, at least 3.5. So it's very vague for me, but that's what they're looking for. We know then that you must then supplement that with a SAT score of a certain standard or the two AP exam grades of a 3 and above. They still have got the ACT in here, although it's not something that's available in South Africa. So that's still in there. Something that's maybe very good news for some of you to take a look at is the national benchmark test, where they have then stipulate between STEM degrees and other type of degrees, where they, for other type of degrees, and Michelle, for you guys, that's going into arts, this might be very good news, where you can then just do the AL and QL components of the NBTs. So So these are the requirements that USAF have now, as I mentioned, published. It is not gazetted. You can see, this is the gazette. This is, um, you know, I think, challengeable in court, if you so wish. But this is what's on the system, which they have applied retrospectively since beginning of September anyway, um, th- with the exception of NBTs now being more prominent, which does provide more opportunities for our families. So to wrap up, you need to supply in order when you apply with yourself, you apply with this, not the folder, but the documents in here, your transcript, your diploma, um, with a GPA of 3.5, and then one of the following, either the SAT, qualifying SAT, or the qualifying APs, um, ICT I'm not going to talk about anymore, even, and then the NBTs. Um, yeah, so I just want to say this is now on their website. Okay, I will update our details on our website, on our Kairos's website, to reference to this so that you can easily find it in the future. Okay, so Melinga, you asked there in terms of the WITS application. So you need to follow up with WITS. Each and every university have got their own admission process. Some of the other universities, they've allowed the USAF documentation even in February or March or April, so it really depends on the university of choice. With NV Northwest University and Stellenbosch providing the most grace to families because of their understanding that the USAF process is really out of your hands to fast track that. Okay, so Charmaine, any last remarks from your side before we close the session?
Not much. There's now a few questions about the NBTs that came up.
Yeah, so maybe I can just answer
It
that.
wasn't.
Sorry, Charmaine, but the NBTs, it's fairly unknown to many of us because it's not been applied in the past. It's different to the SATs. It can be written in Afrikaans and or English, but it is 3-hour exams per subject. Okay, so keep that in mind. There's plenty of material available to prepare, and details of that is captured on our website under legal and other requirements. So you can, I will reference that, Charmaine, sorry for interrupting you.
No, no, no.
While you finish.
Okay, I'm just gonna put the NBT.
Yeah, Charmaine, I'm just going to open our website here with the detail. So
Okay.
then, so the legal and other requirements that I referred to, you can source it under resources on our website, legal and other requirements. This one is much easier to maintain and to keep up to date than the e-planner. So we live in a dynamic world, so this is then captured there. You will see our legal landscape for the younger children, but then specifically our own requirements that you may know, our code of ethics, and then the tertiary application. We spoke about SAQA, so there's a SAQA application process, the USAF process that I will just update with the newer information, although it's really not that much that have changed. And the NBTs, where's the NBTs now? Okay, so let's look. There's another one where I've explored the tertiary resources, and this one, so I will include the NBTs in there as well. But the tertiary resources then specifically include a shorter, this is a shorter detail, as what you can see where the other one was more explanatory, but standardized testing, NBT scheduling and information, you can go in there and schedule your course, um, the test, if you so wish. Okay.
Um,
My apologies for cutting this meeting short. I do have another commitment on the same line. And I do apologize that we have gone 15 minutes over time. Thank you for everyone's attention. So, Charmaine, you can close, please.
okay. Thank you everybody for attending. I hope this has been a great help and yeah, made the journey a little less stressful. Uh, but yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And we will post the recording yeah, within the next 24 hours on our YouTube link if you YouTube channel if you need further information or want to reflect back. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, everyone, and best wishes for the remainder of your senior year.